Hi guys, in this part we're going to take care of the texturing. So we're going to be using hard ups for this one, right? So the easy way to do this is to let's remove these lines from the equation. Okay, so just hide them and hide these ones as well. All right, so we don't get confused. Select everything, right, and Alt M, and you can just add blank material to every single item at the same time. Now the only problem is it's gonna be the same material, right? So if you don't like it, you're gonna stuck with it. But we wanna select one item and actually pick a good mat for it from the lottery. So Alt M, and instead of going Control, click Shift. And now you can actually shift scroll through all kinds of different materials and pick the one you really like. And then we're going to choose this one as a basic one, right? And we're gonna actually add mats around it to remaining parts. So for example, now let's select different mat for this one. So add blank material, and we can actually design it ourselves. Okay, so let's remove metallic because tires, you know, they're not metallic, and let's increase the roughness and let's drop the color to something really dark. In fact, that would do. Maybe just reduce the specular a bit so they're not so shiny. Okay, and these are gonna be our tires. So select these and Alt and simply copy your mat here, right, to the tires, and the tires sorted. Now this one's a little bit flashy. Okay, so in fact we're gonna change our HDRI to something different, and you probably don't have this one, so what you can do is simply install a custom HDRI to your look dev. So you simply click on this option here, and then you click on install, and you install whatever you want from the files you have on your drive. This one is called Abandoned Slipway, and I got it from HDRI Heaven, so you can get it there. It's a 4K version. It's just a little bit more relaxed light and gives me a bit more information, and kind of it's more flat, so I can see the shapes better and the materials a bit better. Okay, so now we're going to redesign this mat a little bit. Okay, so let's make it actually kind of close to white and maybe make it more rough, you know, something like this. Okay, cool. And well, we're going to redesign this a bit. So grab this material in the middle, which is this one, I think. Yeah, that's the one. And Alt M and drop a new mat over here. Let's go to local, and you know, it can be metallic. Let's make it a little bit darker, and let's put some roughness on it, you know, and some clear coat and clear coat roughness and Bob's your uncle. And let's see how this is gonna look on the chassis. So this is material, and let me see which one is it. I think it's material 4. Yeah, it's material 4. It's kind of really dark, and the rubber is 3 and this one is 4. Okay, we can think maybe of the main chassis to become this mat, or in fact what we could do is grab these, and let's see a different mat here. So let's drop a mat. This one actually isn't bad, you see, a random one. So they're gonna look a little bit different in cycles, so you need to remember that. And we're probably gonna be rendering in cycles. I haven't decided yet. So select this one and copy mat. That's pretty cool. And these two should be, well, they could be kind of white. I think it would look pretty cool. These things should be definitely darker, so you know, let's maybe a gunmetal mat could be interesting here, or simply, you know, grab the same one, so you know, the dark one, so, and not mat 4, mat 5. That's what I wanted, right? So mat 5 for these, and copy. There you go. So it kind of matches. Same here, you know, we could just match it up. And the wheels could be white, but I think they would look better if they were darker. Or maybe, yeah, I think so. And this one is a little bit too bright, yeah, so let's make it, you know, maybe silverish. Like this, right? Kind of grayish. Looks pretty cool. These elements could be rubberish. Whoops. Would pretty look cool. These could be black as well. And these could be black as well. In fact, this shouldn't be that black. We could just select this matte from this one, yeah. A little bit less black. Wait a minute. Oh, this one is not copied yet. So this one should be matte 4. So copy and not copy. Select matte 4 here. And same here. We could just select matte 4. So it's kind of metallic. But not super flashy. In fact, these ones could be the same. Yep. Okay. And now these windows here. I mean, let's just think about it. Because the windows here, you know, what I want here is glass, right? So Shift D, put them in here, and Alt M and Shift click, and it's gonna create glass. Okay. Now this is gonna be glass 1, but I'm gonna make it glass dark. All right, we're gonna go to settings here. We're gonna tinker with it a bit. So let's make it darker. Where's the preview? Yeah, darker and bluer. All right, so I want it darker. In fact, here make it darker, but on the blue side, right? Kind of like this, right? So maybe less saturated. So less saturated, but kind of on the blue side, you know. Like I said, less saturated. There you go. Something like this. So let's collapse this and let's just grab this and grab these windows here and Control plus just to select these and assign here glass 2, so glass dark, and assign, right? Did it work? Kind of. But the problem is it's actually went through. So what we want to do is make it completely untransparent, right? So transparency color and just, you know, drop it. Maybe that's not the best idea. Let me see here. So same with this one here, right? We could make this dark, and this is actually dark, which is good. Oh, this actually could be brighter, you know, this color maybe, right? And then the window here could be darker. So just select the window, Control plus, and then add matte and glass dark and assign. Okay, how we looking? We're looking pretty cool. We're looking pretty cool. It's a bit dark, this thing, but hey, we can fiddle with it later. So Control plus and then plus here and glass dark and assign. Okay. This matte now it's a little bit too bright for this. Yeah. So let me see this. Maybe make it a little bit darker. Maybe let's invert this. Maybe let's make this one really black. Okay, and this one a bit brighter. How about this? How this would work in cycles, that's what I want to know. Let's go to cycles for a second. Cycles you cannot see through, I think, which is good. Perfect. So we're gonna render this in cycles. Let's make it a bit brighter. And you see cannot see through. Perfect. So we could use this one, and this one could be a little bit brighter, right? We could go with a regular glass here, guys. So what we could do is remove this matte and add a new matte, create new one, and change it to glass BSDF and make it really dark, and glass BSDF. And let's see how we're gonna be looking with this one here. So assign this one, assign here, and let's see, let's make it bluish but less saturated and dark. Yeah, see, this is much better. In fact, this is a bit too dark, so could make it less dark. Let's see this in cycles. It's a little bit, let's see this roughness. Let's reduce the roughness so it's a bit more reflective. And not so dark, maybe. Yeah, this is much better. This is much better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply change this this glass here. So let's remove this, and let's remove this one and assign this BSDF glass. Okay, and same here. So remove this one and assign the BSDF glass. So glass BSDF and assign, and delete this. Yeah, it looks much better, and also it's a little bit still too blue, I think. Should be like a minimal kind of bluish tint. Yeah, there you go. Now you're talking. Now I can stand behind this one. Alright, this one is a little bit too bright. So we're either gonna go really... yeah, this one gonna work. So gunmetal sort of thing. Or go completely black on this one. This could also work, you know. See, something like this, right? And go a little bit higher on this one. Yeah. Let me see this. Just playing with colors at the moment. Because it really depends how it looks in cycles, right? Cycles is where we're gonna be rendering this thing, so this should be metal as well. So let's in fact change it to this one. So color, there we go. How are we looking? Yeah, looking pretty good. Now let's turn on the lights. So Alt H. Okay, now what I need to do is simply select these and change the mode to the emission as it used to be, right? So we can see the lights in cycles. There we go. Top is already changed. We're probably gonna have to make it, you know, much more strong. So value set to 100 at the moment. You know, these are headlights, so let's make it crazy. That's pretty cool. Okay. Now the backlight's gonna be decal, so don't worry about it. In fact, this whole thing's gonna be decaled up. I like this truck being dark, so everything is fine. This window still, in my opinion, could be a little bit maybe brighter. A little bit. I don't mind them being completely transparent, but I mean opaque, but you can actually see through now, which is not the best idea. We're gonna reduce the roughness a little bit more to make them more reflective. In fact, maybe just darken them up a bit so you cannot really see inside. Because I really don't want people to see inside there, because we have nothing inside, so. Okay, looks good. Okay, the last thing we need is some you know, kind of emission here in those engines. So what we need to do is select these two parts, or in fact maybe drop a loop in here and another one on top and select these ones inside. So here, and then simply shift D, shifted them here, and remove this material, Alt M, and Control Alt click on material. It's gonna add emission, and we're gonna have another emission here, so another blue one, and let's pump the strength as well, and then we're going to simply select this and plus and emission 001 assign, and let's go and see how we're looking. We can turn them off, by the way. It's a bit too strong, so we're gonna bring it down a bit. So it's way too strong, and also needs to be a bit more blue. So let's work on this one, shall we? So a bit more blue. There we go. Right, maybe not as blue. Kind of like this. Maybe it's a bit too crazy. Maybe a bit more. There you go. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. Alright. That's cool. Now, light and everything on these gonna be fixed by simply... we could copy this material from here to make a bit of a difference. There you go. And these are fine. Okay. Perfect. I think we're good to go. Alright guys, so now we're gonna wrap it up and we're gonna start putting some decals on this thing, okay? So this is it for texturing, really easy. The next part's gonna be, you know, adding decals to it, alright? So I'll catch you in a part 2.